Oh my God. Well, what's good? This is Bows and Bros. This is Josh and.
Oh, yeah.
Really? And Sanina? That's
okay,
what we're going to do?
just I thought that you, okay. I was tripping.
So, what's good? What's good? This is Josh and.
This is Sanina. Okay, I'm Sanina.
Okay, yeah, right. She's Sanina.
God.
But anyway, this is Bows and Bros. I think I said that backwards. So
it's
the bro.
Bows and Bros.
So, it is Bows and Bros.
Yeah, okay. He's right.
Okay, big bet. So we coming on to you today. This is one of our first episodes. A pilot episode is what people call it. This is where we come and we talk about best friend issues. We come to not only talk about them, but to maybe talk about some things that you can't normally talk about. Maybe some gray area topics that you can have a female and a male perspective on. So that's always a dope thing to kind of have. And so we enjoy, or not enjoy, but we happy that you came and you're looking or watching or whatever, whether you're listening, however you're getting this to you, we appreciate you.
Yes.
So yes, Nana, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I can't complain. How you doing, Josh?
That's good. How your week been going?
It's been going pretty good. I haven't done much.
Oh, okay. Well, that's... okay. Sure. Yeah, right.
I feel like we should start something.
Look. First of all, I you know what I'm saying, just can't just go in with no grease. You know what I'm saying? You gotta slowly work into things. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't want to rush them.
Oh, I get it.
It's just a general, you know what I'm saying, how you doing?
Like, okay, so...
You don't have to make this weird.
Okay, so I'm doing pretty good. I can't complain, So,
that's what's up.
This week I was off because I'm a teacher. Okay. So, I'm in year-round school and I tracked out. But this was my last week, so tomorrow I go back to school to see my babies, and I miss them so much.
That's what's up.
I'm excited to see them.
That's what's up. What
about you, Josh?
I'm in production, as well as I am, because due to COVID, I have kind of dropped back, done some electrical work and that type of thing. So it's been keeping me pretty busy doing that. So it's been pretty tough. So, but it's all cool though. It's part of life at this point.
It's hot.
It's hot. It is hot. I'm about to take the sweat off. Bless. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of come on and a lot of people were wondering, like, why are you doing this podcast? What's the purpose of it, right? Mm-hmm. So as I was thinking about when we were trying to put this thing together, what's some of the topics? What can we talk about? What is it, right? So what is this? This is the best friend podcast that you can have this conversation where you can bounce ideas off of different people. So I said, what is a best friend, right? So, you got a definition. What's your definition of being a best friend?
I think it could be multiple things, and I think it just depends. When I think about best friends for a guy and a girl, it's a little different. Because, with girl best friends, you can kind of sort of, literally, wear your hair down sometimes with them because they're more emotionally in tune with you. Sometimes with guys, you can be upset, cry, and they don't possibly care as much as you would want them to. Yeah. So, with a guy best friend, I think it's just someone that you can have fun with, talk about certain things, and, help each other grow in different aspects. Because sometimes, as females, we only see it in our own aspect. Mm-hmm. And then there are times when it should be done maybe possibly in this aspect. So right. I think with best friends as guy and girl, it's just more so a person that, you can talk to, laugh with, enjoy, and just grow with them and just help each other mature. Right.
I get it. That's what's up. I don't know. I guess for me, that best friend is that person that you can always count on.
Yeah, for sure.
And when I mean count on...
And that's me.
But what I mean by, I think it's deeper than that, though. Because when you say count on, right, what is that definition? What does that really mean? Does that mean, in a financial standpoint? Does that mean just, there to, pick up a phone call? Does that
I think it's there mentally.
Mentally?
Okay. Because, I think financially, that can bring, a strain on people's friendship. Because some people expect for, so you're close with this person and you're supposed to do this. You're not technically supposed to do that. Right. Your finances and your money is your thing. Now, if things come along and you need help and your friend has it, sure. Mm-hmm. But I think if you box that in with just financially, it's that is not good.
Right. I get that. I don't know. I've
because I'm not paying your car payment.
I don't know who you pointing at. Somebody just got a word. Let me see if Sanina gonna do that this year.
No, seriously.
No, I feel you. But I mean, at the same time, in the same instance, right? So what are the boundaries to it, right? What's the limits to your best friend? Like, what's like we already just talked about, hey, I'm not paying your car note. But what's some other, like, some definitely do nots? It's nothing that you can do to get around that. Like,
I mean, I don't know. I think it just depends on what presents itself. Like, most things, most people will do for their best friends. Like, you're considered, like, ride or die. So it's, like, one of those things where, like, if you hurting, I'm hurting. If excuse me, but if you need to fight somebody, we gonna figure out a way to get there.
Right.
So it's just one of those things where it's just, like, I think it just depends on the situation and what presents.
Right. I feel you.
What about you?
I don't know if it's really situational based, though. I think that a friend is a person that can always tell you the truth.
Are you going to listen to the truth?
Well, that's not really the responsibility of the friend, though.
Oh, true.
The responsibility of the friend is to be the person that is going to speak up and say, hey, I don't like the way that things are going. I don't like this relationship you got. I don't like the way you treated me yesterday. I don't like the fact that you cussed this person out. Like, that person that can be true with you, but at the same time, that's also the same person that when you really be down, that's the same person that can encourage you. That's the same person that can push you. That's the same person that, you know what I'm saying, can uplift you. I think that financially, I think it gets into murky waters when to friends.
Sure.
And because it really depends on that person's character, right? Because you can have a person that, pays their bills. They always, look, if you loan me 20, I'm going to make sure you get that 20 back. And then you have some friends that you receive that 20 and you know for a fact in the back of your mind that you ain't going to get it back. Even if they said, I'm going to make sure I get you back. I'm going to do this. And so, I mean, I think that is based upon, like you said, it's situational based, I think, when it comes financially. But everything else, like, I really feel like that is your job. Like,
your job.
And I think it's a job. And that's the reason why I say job and specifically job. When you work a job, right? You're doing a specific task and you're getting paid for it. It's like a hand-in-hand transaction, right? So it's the same thing with a friend. I feel like I had a tattoo on me that says loyalty isn't free. Because I thoroughly believe that loyalty, even when God died, even when Jesus died on the cross, he still had to pay his life in order that we can have everlasting life. You know what I'm saying? There was a price that was still, here we go. Anyway, there was still something that was exchanged, even in something as simple as that. So nothing in this world comes for nothing. So my point I'm making is, I don't think you could be a true best friend and not be giving and taking something from it. I don't think you can just be one side or the other and be an effective friendship. Or any interrelationship.
Or, any type of friendship or relationship or business relationship. That's
true. Because, I mean, how do you feel about that? Like, best friends getting in business together, like starting a business or something like that. Like, how do you feel? Like,
I think it can be done. Like, I feel like as long as the expectation and the knowledge of, like, what is the goal, what is going to be established, and all the logistics of that is taken care of. Because I've seen where people have gone into business with their friends and it might not go as well.
Right.
But I think sometimes that's because people don't communicate. People don't say, like, well, I'm not going to do this and I want you to do this, or I'm not going to do this and you should do this, but this is how much I'm going to get and this is how much you'll get, and it just, none of those conversations are always happening.
So I was thinking, I think initially when I was talking about
and he's always thinking, you guys.
Right.
Always.
Because I'm supposed to. I mean.
No, but he's like always thinking.
Nah, she's trying to embellish right now.
No, he's always thinking.
And you always singing, so it is what it is. All right.
Well, I mean.
Are you a worship leader all the time?
No, okay, you need to stop.
That's what we're gonna do?
I'm not a worship leader all the time.
Okay.
I'm not, like, I like to enjoy people and have fun and stuff. I just, that's mostly what I do all the time.
I'm going to change your name in my phone to worship pastor. Anyway, moving forward.
If I see that on my screen.
All right. Are you? Don't worry. I have the little emoji with the little, bless.
Okay.
Anyway, we were talking about boundaries, and we'll keep moving forward. I was really thinking about, like, what are the boundaries when you're talking about dating, right? Because I feel like that's that can be another gray area when you have a best friend. Like, then, I mean, to me, I feel like a boundary is like, maybe now I can't call whenever I feel like calling. Maybe I have to be cool with knowing that maybe we can't get up or hang out, you know, and the same time frame like we did before. So I feel like there are different things like that. I think
for sure.
I think.
Okay.
No, you good. Go ahead.
No, because I think like with guy and girl friendships, like people don't understand it,
right?
Because they're always going to assume like, oh, you know, they're together or. They might be sleeping with each other or things like that, but it's just one of those things where, and especially when you add two more individuals, when you add a girl for the guy and then a boy for the female, and it's just one of those things where it's just like they are not going to understand it. That's why, for me per se, like it's kind of fishy. Like when you're in a relationship and then all of a sudden you have you get a best friend. I feel like if you're gonna have a best friend, you need to go ahead and get it before you start dating because it's going to be hard to persuade another guy, that, oh, this guy's just my friend.
Right.
They're not going to believe you.
Especially after the fact. I think that's the thing. Like, when you get to a person and you're talking to them and they're like, you know, let's just say you've been dating a while, right? Let's just say 6 months or so. And you already been dating this amount of time, and it's like, all right, so I think I know this person. And then all of a sudden you pop up and you be like, well, I got this person that technically kind of knows me better than you know me. And then how do you explain it? Because that's technically, if I got a girlfriend, but then I bring my girlfriend and say, hey, this is my best friend, there's a little understanding that she probably knows more information than I do, right?
Yeah.
So.
And I think, I don't know, I think you have to just like take it slow.
Okay.
Like, don't do too much, like, and the friends have to understand that, okay, so this is going to be a slow process. Because if you go in at first, like, as a female, if I was to date someone and he has a girl best friend and I come in and they are, like, laughing and doing that something, I'll be like, this ain't going to work. Because I'm thinking that.
Oh, so you're jealous? Is that what
that's what it is? Yeah, that's what it is. One of those things where, so it's like, you have to kind of take it slow, like, okay, this is my friend, and show the other female that, not necessarily that she's more important, but that she still has that, well, I'm going to still go if you call.
Okay.
Because they have to know, they have to have that reassurance, like, this is what it's going to be, because if your best friend calls, granted, you're so used to always dropping things for her or whatever, and you just keep it going, but some people don't understand that.
Right. I get that. Well, I mean, I don't know. I think that it's really tough because I feel like that's another one of those things that's situational based. Because you have certain females that are cool, especially if she knows them, right? And I think that's the line, right? I think when you keep it a secret or some form of secrecy, that's when I feel like the opposite person is like not on board with it, right? So when it's just like, oh, I was hanging out with my best friend last night. Oh, so that's why you couldn't pick up the phone call? You know what I'm saying? Oh,
But those are true situations, though.
And that is true. But I'm saying it's just like, I hate to get biblical with it, but you know what I'm saying?
He's a pastor.
I'm not, though. Very far from it. But I hate to get biblical about it, but it's just like in the Bible it says, don't let your good be evil spoken of. And that's the same situation. Like, you could be in a really, really good spot. Like, we could have just been creating, laughing, joking, because we do it all the time. And then it end up being late. But then on the outside, people are like, oh, what y'all doing? What y'all been doing? And you know what I'm saying? And it's like, look, we really, creating something. We're trying to build something. We're having a conversation. Sometimes it's not even business related. Sometimes it's, because for people that don't know, I am part of Sanina Barber Ministries.
And I'm Sanina Barber.
I am her production manager. So from quite a lot of times that it's more than just that friend thing, right? So it's a business aspect of it as well. And there's always this up and down kind of push in a sense, because if you're on the friend side, that's kind of like the no holds barred, like uncensored, I accept you how you are, etc. But then you got this business side, this business side that's like, we got deadlines with each other. We got, you know what I'm saying? Look, we got to work this. We got to push you. So sometimes it kind of bleeds over from time to time. But it's one of those things where I feel like having that friendship made the business easier. I think when, not saying predictable because that isn't the right word, but when you know the other person, right? You're going to know, like, if somebody comes and asks me a direct question about something specific I know about her, I don't have to go back and ask her, hey, Sanina, how do you want this? I'm already know, look, this is how it needs to be done. Because that's not only how we've done it in the past, but I know her personally and I know what viewpoint she's going to go for. So, and she trusts me in that aspect. And so I trust her in the same aspect when we're going out and we do the shows. And it's like, look, I really like this song. I wish you would do this. And it's like, no, I'm going to do it this way, Josh. That's exactly how. And I have to trust that, and it's the same way. And I think having that friendship aspect of it made it easier. Because we're still in the growth format right now. We're still growing. I mean, we're still at, a very, first of all, go stream. Have you
know what? Let's talk. Okay, so off topic. Have you ever had a friend that doesn't know your song?
First of all, I do know it.
Everybody I'm introducing Joshua Book. He doesn't know my song at all.
First of all, I know it, and I've sung it multiple times.
No, he doesn't. Do not let that fool you. He does not know my song. But let's move forward.
but I think that comes with just like that right there. Like that was an example of the honesty that comes. Like some people would be hurt, like from.
No, I'm hurt. Let's just get that straight. I'm torn apart.
Are you now? See, that's the foolishness right there. People lie so bad. It's
no, I'm not. I'm hurt because he is not the only friend that I have that does not know my song.
See, you coming from a hurt place.
My friends are going to fire all of them.
Oh, wow. This is terrible.
I mean, honestly, hopefully when the new music come out, everybody will know it and you will download and purchase.
Hey, come on now. Come through. But getting back on topic though, I really feel that those boundaries are necessary for a good friendship. And I feel like if you're going to be a good friend for somebody else, that's something that you understand personally. Like, I think that's before you take on that responsibility. I think, again, I really think it's a responsibility. But once you take on that responsibility of saying that this is my best friend, right? You take on that responsibility of helping that person in need, including times when you need to tell them stuff they don't want to hear. Yeah. So what's the best way that you tell, like, your best friend? Not just me, but just because I know you have a few, but because we're going to talk about jealousy in a minute. But at the end of the day, how do you deal with telling your best friend, man, I think you need to work on something. I think you need to change something or whatever.
I think it depends on the friend. Like, for instance, like my best friend Brianna, my girl best friend, she's very blunt, and so am I. And so we can easily be like, no, you ain't doing that.
Right.
No, that's wrong. Okay, I don't want to hear it no more.
Right.
And then it just depends on a different person. Like with you, like I have to kind of sort of like be like at peace with it before I give it to you, because sometimes if I say it in the wrong manner, me and him can like go back and forth because both of us have strong personalities, and so it's one of those things where I have to like learn how to kind of sort of like be like, okay, Sanina, just think about it, not in your point of view, what he's thinking, because I mean everything I say might not be correct. Right. So being able to express it to you in a better way sometimes helps our conversation.
Right.
Because if I just be like, Jawa, and you'll be like, you pretty much like who we talking to.
Right.
And so that ain't gonna go over well. So I have to be very careful, of how I express, like, I think you should try this or something like that. Because how I talk to Brianna might not be the same way I can talk to you.
Right. And I get that. And that's the same way I think your approach, I think that's a life lesson, honestly. I think your approach to anything can really determine your success in that situation. When you're talking about business, when you're talking about personal relationships. So I get that. I think that with me personally, like if I had to tell a friend, hey, this is what I feel like you need to work on, this is what I feel like you need to fix. For me, it's always been the super direct, like up front in your face, this is how I feel. Because I feel like I'm not doing justice to what I'm saying. Because I have this issue where if I sugarcoat something, it tends to kind of change the message. So for me, I'm like, if this is the message, this is what I'm trying to convey, I've got to say the entire thing. This is exactly how I feel, right? Now, if you feel offended or if you want me to backtrack some things, let's work on after I at least said the statement. Then we can kind of work backwards and say, okay, well, maybe I should have said it like this. But I think if I say it direct, it's so much easier to understand. And that's just me personally.
Yeah. But I think one thing that I always try to tell you, everybody is not going to be able to accept it the way you think it should be. done.
Right. I get that.
Everybody, you can't be direct with everybody. Some people are sensitive.
Yeah, that's true. Some people are, but I mean, I think that's. If I change the message, then I feel like I'm doing a disservice to them.
No, I think it's more so understanding and knowing people's communication style. It's not about dummying it down or doing, but you can still say something stern, but you have to understand that this is how you're going to say it for them.
Right.
Like, for instance, like if I having a bad day, hair day, I don't want no one to come to me and go, your hair looks bad, because that's going to bother me, because everyone that knows me knows I love changing my hair, doing my hair and things like that. So, like, for instance, like when Brianna, she comes talk to me, she's like, now sis, we got to put a curl in the hair today. And so automatically I'm going, oh God, my hair, I got to fix my hair. Right. But if she would have said to me, your hair looks bad, I would have probably said, your hair looks bad.
I am weak.
It's just, it's one of those things where you just have to learn how to communicate. So, like, for instance, like, I used to have blonde hair. And I'm not trying to be funny, but guys would say, well, when are you going to go back to black? And I would go, in my head, I'm going, okay, are they trying to come for me, or do they just like the black? But then I realized that that's just their way of saying, the blonde is okay, but I need you to come back black. Right. But if I took it in the manner of they're trying to come for me, then I would have asked them some other questions about when they should do this and how.
Well, see, I feel like that's a best friend question when you get to that. Like, that's a crossroads.
Yeah, some people do get too personal.
And then you be like, all right, so now I need to ask somebody that's unbiased that can really, like, be real and give me a real answer. Because in those situations, I get it too. Because I went through, like, this phase. I never really went, like, through a hair, quote-unquote, phase. But, like, clothing was...
Well, praise God.
But I tried to do, like, this little thing where I guess I was trying to do this fashion thing. And not necessarily tight clothes, but I started trying to do, like, more of the ripped jeans, more of the, like, stylish stuff. And then, not necessarily you, but my sister was actually the one that, you know, she was like, Josh, I don't know. I don't know if this worked for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like the time when you wear the pants and the Vans.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Okay.
I thought I was fresh, first of all. Keep it hot. I mean, that's not how you did it. That's how you did it.
So I was like, my God, okay.
So, you know, I'm trying some things along the way. But, you know, I don't know. But, again, I think had I not known you in that way, right, I could have took that offensive. Automatically. Like, she don't know me. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden now you're in the wrong. And you're not, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like there are definitely different boundaries and different, now, again, going back to that responsibilities of that best friend. So,
makes sense. I could see that.
So while we talking about that, right? So we talked about that person that you're dating. What if you don't like your best friend's person that they're dating? How do you deal with that?
Well, it just depends on the person, because if I say I don't like them, most of the time they're probably going to tell me that I'm tripping or that I block stuff and things like that. So I think it just... So I think it's just...
that you're a hater.
A hater, yeah. Yeah, so...
Anyway.
Because here's the thing, like, okay, with females, it's like females can know another female when they see it.
Right.
They know what comes with them.
Right.
Same thing with guys. When females are dating guys and you have a guy best friend, he knows the guy for who he is. He knows the lines. He knows what they're going to say. So it's one of those things I feel as if there should be a deeper trust when it comes to, like, okay, I'm telling you this from experience. I was that age, or I am there now, or I've seen that before. And it's like, all it's going to do is give you more drama that you don't need.
Right. So
I think it just depends on the person. But for me, I'm very honest. So, like, if I just don't like the person, I'm just going to tell you. Yes.
Bless.
I am. I'm serious.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm very serious.
I agree. I think that...
Dairy.
I think there's a limit to it as well. I think there's a limit, and this is why. Because even if you're your best friend, you still have to allow that best friend to be happy, right? If that person makes them happy,
Mm-hmm.
even if you don't like them, you still have to be, not saying accepting of it,
Mm-hmm.
but hey, you like them, so I guess I'll deal with them. I'll communicate with them. Like that, I would feel like that is part
Yeah,
of
I don't think you're gonna, just because someone is dating, you're gonna be mean to them and cutting them off. You're just telling that you don't think that's the one for you. Now, whether you listen, that is up to you.
Right.
And whether you stop talking to them, that is up to you, because you are grown. And we're grown. We're gonna do whatever it is that we want to do. But when something happens, don't say, I don't want to have to be the one to say, I told you so.
Okay. So this doesn't really apply to like the male and female side, right? But this is like a female versus female best friend. Would you date your female best friend's ex?
What? No.
Even if
No.
you've seen it in a dream.
Oh, that's nice. That means maybe
It's in your
he's
vision.
in the dream because he's about to introduce me to his friend.
Oh, okay. So,
But
so you would never do that?
No. That ain't my style.
What if she said it was cool?
And somebody need to pop her in the back of her neck.
Pop her in the back of her neck.
Because that ain't going down. No, what? That's crazy. That means I have to now think about everything my friend and him did with each other.
Well, you don't have to think about it.
Yes, I do.
You don't, though.
Well, I
feel
do.
like it's just like this. If he's dated somebody before that you just knew, that's just past.
Just knew what you said, best friend.
Right, but I'm just saying it's the same category. Like,
no, new and best friend are two separate things. I'm not dating my best friend's ex. It's just not happening.
Okay.
And I don't expect for her to do the same thing because I'm coming for her.
Okay. So let me swap it up then. So what if you start dating somebody and then you find out that it's your best friend ex? And then let's just say that they didn't know that you were dating.
They gone.
Immediately?
Yeah, seriously. And
but what if you got a connection with this person?
Well, I guess we're going to have to send another one.
Bless.
I'm serious. I don't play that type of stuff. I don't play that type of stuff. Loyalty is everything, okay? And I'm sorry, no, because by the time I get to that connection, right, my best friend would have had to been meet
the person.
We ain't gonna be able to get that deep.
I got you. That makes sense.
No, I'm not doing that. Now, men do that type of stuff. Is that true? Like,
I mean, men do. I ain't even gonna lie. Men do that. I mean, honestly, not all men do.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't say that I've personally done that. Mm-hmm. But I do know quite a few dudes that be like, bro, I'm good. I'm straight off that. You know what I'm saying? You want to holler at a holler.
Yeah, see, I think that's where our mindsets are different. And I mean, females do it too.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I know certain females.
Females do it too, but not this one.
Right, I feel you.
Because, no, that ain't going to go down that way.
Okay, I feel you.
And y'all ladies need to be doing that same thing. Do not date your best friend's ex, okay? Because that's leftovers. You don't want no leftovers. You want fresh stuff, okay?
Because, you really think about, like, what type of friend would that be, right? Y'all go through, and let's just say y'all having issues or whatever with your new dude or whatever that ends up being her ex-dude. Mm-hmm. What type of arguments you end up having? Yeah. And then once she start giving you insight. And that just causes problems going forward, I think, overall.
For sure. Because if you guys are, like you said, like, what if, like you said, an argument, you cannot go complain to your best friend about her ex. Because honestly, even if she says she's okay, she's still going to be bitter. That's what women, it's sad to say, they're going to say okay, but deep down inside, they're going to be upset about it. And she going to go over there complaining about him, and she going to say all the negative stuff, like, oh, you need to dump him, he ain't good for you. It happens. Women do silly stuff like that. That's why it's not good for women to date their best friend's ex.
I get it.
Because they're still deep down inside hurt.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. So you think, what if that relationship, it doesn't necessarily have to be hurt, though, I don't think. Because that person, they could have ended on good terms.
But, I mean, at the end of the day, so let's talk about it. Okay, so it's 2020, and most people...
It's
2021. Most people they have sex with their significant other. That's another one of those things where it brings emotion and a different level of connecting. And so if you are dating your best friend's ex and you already went down that road with them, and now here we are with your best friend, and now they're going down that road. Deep down inside, there's still a connection. Mm-hmm. You can't let that connection go. So why would you even try to bring that to the table?
Right. I get that. And you touched on something, right there at the end. So do you think? Oh yeah, because it's about to hit them. Because this is what people are going to click. This is clickbait. Mm-hmm. This is the question everybody's wondering. Do you think best friends can be friends and not have sex?
Yes.
Male and female, by the way, obviously. But mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it can be done as long as, both parties are strong enough to handle it.
Okay.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's probably tempting.
Yeah, I think, because one thing that I've noticed, right, because it's not just no matter what the person looks like. It's mm-hmm. deeper than that, right? Because any person that you're with a long time around a lot, you end up growing a connection.
Yeah, what do you mean doesn't matter what they look like? Have you guys seen... Keep going. Okay.
Okay, all right. Completely off topic here. Anyway, bless. But no, I mean, what was I saying?
It doesn't matter. It's a deeper connection.
Oh yeah, so it's a deeper connection. Sometimes I think the connection itself or the chemistry mm-hmm. can be somewhat attractive. Mm-hmm. How do you deal with that? Like when that one, let's say your best friend is sexually trying to come on you and you're like, nah, we really need to keep this in the box. Like how do you friend zone somebody? But, because then let's think literal. Most people, or most guys per se, if you friend zone them niggas is gone.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah, that's true. Most guys, yeah, when you friend zone them. I think it just depends on the people. Like if you are strong enough to deal with it and handle it. Knowing your boundaries, so it's good for boundaries because you know that, like, okay, maybe you can't always be with that person because maybe it brings, rises things within inside you because at the end of the day, every one of us has a flesh. Regardless if we're friends or if we're not, something inside of us is going to leap or whatever. So it's just one of those things where you just have to know how much you can take as an individual. Mm-hmm. Like for females, like, maybe not necessarily always hanging out outside of your house or doing different things to keep you guys busy because it can be tempting and you ain't going to always be as strong as you want or think you can be.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. I think it's really about the mindset going into the into the situation, right? I think if you come in as a guy and you're like, man, I'm trying to smash, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that, I think that changes the perception of the friendship because then if the friendship is really tainted in a sense because you have unclear vision of where you're going with this.
I don't necessarily think so though, because like if you think about it where like, you might meet so if you have a guy and girlfriend, like, okay, maybe sort of like the guy might be at first like what you said, but then maybe if the female is more so like, that's just not what I'm doing, I feel like you can still build upon.
Right, but I still think there's a mentality with the guy, like he has to be like, look, if he's one of them dudes that's just like a smash only, like I'm just trying to get in, get out type of situation, there's never going to be a transition period to I'm really trying to be your friend and legitimately mean it, right? Sure. I think that his mindset has to already be like, I'm looking for a friend and legitimately look for that. Now, granted, if he's in a situation where he tries to, tries to get at her or whatever the case may be and it does not work out, as long as I feel like he has an open mind to say, okay, so this person may not be that person for me, but she may be a better person in another area of my life, right? So I feel like that is what more or less what he may be talking about is facilitating. But I really feel like if the man is mindset like, look, I'm just trying to smash, he ain't gonna be no interested in trying to get a female. Because here's the real thing: if that were to become a case where he's just trying to smash whatever, that best friend's gonna tell him, hey, you really need to stop being a dog. Yeah. And that's not something that every dog wants to hear, especially coming from a female. So I don't know. Like that's why I feel like it's all in that mentality. Like I don't know. It's just I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. I can agree with that. And if you're strong, but I think and I also think it comes with maturity. Mm-hmm. Like because like I feel like younger, and this is just a perception in my opinion. So and it's not fast, but I feel like younger guy and best friends, it's probably harder for them because they're not as mature as someone else. Because like if you think about your 20s are your prime years where you do all your silliness and all the crazy stuff that you have going on, you let it out in your 20s. So if you get someone younger in the 20 aspect, in the 20 range, it's probably harder for them. Mm-hmm. And then that's when it becomes difficult. And I think a lot of times when you add that aspect in a younger age, and when everyone becomes mature and moves on and finds different relationships, the girl is not able to handle it, or the boy is not able to handle it, because now I've grown to actually love you.
Right.
It passed a friend, and so now it's just one of those things where it's like, how can I separate it?
Okay, I feel you.
So I think it depends on the maturity of the individuals, because I just feel like once you start doing certain things at a younger age, like it's harder for you to push past it.
So I mean, you touched on some things too. Does loyalty necessarily mean love?
No.
Especially in a friendship.
No.
So you can be disloyal and still be your best friend?
No. But that's something to do with love, though.
But love has something to do with connection, right?
Yeah.
Like you love that person, that's why you're unconditionally their friend, right?
Yeah, I mean.
In a sense.
Well, you love everybody. The Bible says to love your neighbors.
Right.
As yourself, So it's one of those things where you love everyone regardless. But I don't feel like you have to be loyal to everyone. I feel like you should love people regardless. God loves us. It's one of those things where we're continuously talk about that, and we thank Him for that, but we don't have to be loyal to them just because we love them.
Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, if you really think about it, though, I mean, if it's your best friend, why would you not be loyal to him, though? Like, what would be the scenario that would be okay for your best friend not to be loyal to you?
Well, no, I don't think there's no scenario for you not to be loyal to your best friend, but I thought you were talking about in general.
No, I'm just talking about strictly from the best friend aspect of it. Like, in order to be a best friend, I really feel like loyalty is part of the game.
Yeah, for sure, because if anybody bothers one of my friends, it's not going to be good.
Right.
It's just one of those things where it's just like, unless they show me a different side of them, because people have a way of like trying to tell you like who you should be friends with, who you shouldn't be friends with, who should be close, who should not be close, who should come to your house, who shouldn't. And it's like, that was your time with them. They have never shown me that side of them. So I do not necessarily have to be disloyal to them because it didn't work out for you.
Right.
So you can dismiss me with all of that. That's my public announcement.
Dismiss me with all that.
Pretty much.
Oh, man, that is hilarious. I need to write that down. But, I mean, I feel you on that, though. I mean, I've always felt that was part of the game. Like, I can't call you my best friend if I'm not loyal to you. If I'm not, when I mean loyal, I mean, if somebody's talking junk about you, right? And there's a situation where I know you're probably not going to hear it, right? If I were to stand back and be like, you know what? Let me laugh and let me joke, let me carry on. That's not loyal. That's, you know what I'm saying?
No, it's not. It's not. And I need y'all to hear that again or understand that. You do not allow people to talk and laugh about your friends. You either say something, you just say something, or sometimes you can walk away. Not be in the midst of it, but don't allow people to put negativity in your mind about your friends unless they show you something different. That is your friend, okay? No one should be able to change your mind because your friend has never showed you a different side of them. You probably deserve that side they showed you.
Whoa, here we go. Deep stuff.
No, you probably deserved it, so now you're going to brainwash everybody and put it on them. But just because we're different, I feel like just because people are different doesn't mean they can't be friends. Okay. I feel like we might not agree with everything, but that doesn't mean that we cannot be able to enjoy the moment and talk to each other. I don't judge my friends, even though they think that I am holier than thou. I really don't judge my friends. Like, I laugh with them. when they're doing something that possibly might not be something that I don't do anymore, because let's get it straight, we all have a past.
Right.
And so I might not do something that they do, but it's just one of those things where I understand where they are and they understand where I am. Because just because I might not do that doesn't mean I don't do something different.
Okay. So how do you deal with that? Since, you know, we got on that topic, like friends that are completely unequally yoked from what you do, right? So obviously we just talked about, you know, Sanina Barber Ministries. Mm-hmm. Obviously that's the lane that you're flying in. Mm-hmm. But let's just say you got a best friend that just constantly smokes and drinks and just parties, like, and just down around a bunch of illicit women.
Oh, goodness.
And you know, just that type of lifestyle. Like, how do you deal with that?
I seriously, not to be spiritual, but my prayer all the time is for God to open my eyes to see more like Him. And God accepts everyone. And I just know where to box people in where they are in my life. Like if I have a friend that, you know, might smoke or drink or whatever, maybe I am the person that can get them to only smoke or drink twice a week instead of 4. Like, I try to see attachments as an assignment more than so like they're not good for me. Because at the end of the day, people can say the same thing about me.
Right.
I've done stuff. I've been places. I've seen things, and people can say, "Well, she's no good. You don't need to be around her. She's this. She's that. She just says this. She says that." Okay, so now that you know that's what I've done, now that you know that's what I've said, how can you help me? Mm-hmm. And so I think more so when it comes for me with friendships, it's more so of how can I love this individual past what everyone else believes or past what they have shown me. Mm-hmm. And how can we help one another grow? So I don't necessarily look at people like let them like turn away from them just because they might do something, because it's not my place to judge. It's more so like, God, you know, what can I give to them to be the light? Because I feel like with everything that we deal with in life, it stems from somewhere. Mm-hmm. And some people just need that light or that positivity or that individual to be like, you know what, I don't need to do this just to have fun, or I don't need to say this just to be included or stuff like that.
So how do you feel when you try to give that type of advice and the person doesn't take it? And they're like, look, you know, I'm just happy being who I am.
Yeah, you just have to love them and continue. Like, and I think it just depends on the person. Like, I hate to be so spiritual, but I literally pray over all my friends. And it's one of those things where when I see something and, you know, I might say like, oh, I think we should try like this, blah, blah, blah. If they don't get it, then I'm just going to pray for it.
Right.
Because I can't change them.
Right.
And, you know, and a lot of times, you know, I'm a true believer that a lot of times people that come into your life are really a reflection of who you are. But some of us have learned to just hide so much where we don't see that, okay, he might openly drink, but you privately drink. He might openly cuss, but you privately cuss. So it's just one of those things where at the end of the day, it's just like, okay, what can I do to help my friend? Or what can I do to change my life to be better for this person? Okay. I think that helps me with my friendships. Because, I mean, I have a lot of friends that do different things, you know, and then I do different things. Like, you know, people might not always agree with some of the things that I do because that's just life, but
right.
I just, you know, I try not to judge because, I mean, I have a list.
Okay. I feel you. So, I mean, in lieu of all that, I think from my side of things is that, you know, and I won't get into too many, you know, candid details, but I think from a person that has been in that same situation in a sense, sometimes I kind of have to like, look, maybe me not smoking around you, all right? So me not drinking around you, or me saying, look, that's Sanina, I just can't do that. I know that's her calling, that's her job. I can't hurt that because I want her to be good and be successful and move forward, and I don't want what I do to misconstrue or hold that back. So as a friend, like, that would be like, I'm not going to change who I am because I'm always going to be who I am. But at the same time, I can say, hey, fellas, females, whatever the case is, this, we're going to have to kind of curve some things around to make sure. And I feel like as a friend, they shouldn't get offended when you do that, because it's like, look, I'm looking out for you. It's not like I'm trying to keep something from you or trying to keep you from living life or being included or whatever. It's just like, I really want you to understand that I respect who you are so much that, look, I don't want you to be in the same light as me because then I don't think you're as effective.
Yeah, for sure. And I think like all this, I truly believe it comes with maturity, because a lot of times when you are friends with someone and y'all might be opposite, the opposite, sometimes it clicks faster for mature people. Like, mature people, you don't have to tell, like, don't come to my house doing that. Or don't say this in front of me.
Right.
They already know, like, okay, when I talk to him or when I talk to her, I gotta censor my talk. Or I can't come in, doing this or doing that. Or I can't come in talking about this because she's not gonna want to hear it.
Right.
Now, I think, like, if you're just talking and maybe there's some advice that's needed on certain things, I feel like you can have that type of conversation. But just to always be doing, I feel like the mature should understand, like, this is what it's supposed to do. And I think with a lot of things in life, all of it stems from where you are mentally and how mature you are. Because unfortunately, the immature are not going to understand it. And that's when you know that that's not your friend. Because if you have to continuously tell someone, stop doing this around me, stop doing it, let that person go, because you are now stressed. And that is becoming your child.
Facts. So, in lieu of all that too, there may be people that may be watching, listening, etc. They want a best friend, right? So how do you find a best friend? I think you might not be able to answer that question.
I don't think you find them. I think they come. I think if we as individuals can just get past what people tell us. A lot of times relationships are broken and not formed because people have already put this label on who this person is, of who they are. And so no one takes the time out to get to know someone. I think you need to wash away all of the thoughts, all of the, the comments that have been said about certain ones and really get to know people. Now, don't let them in so quickly, but just gradually, like, when you going through something, like, ask them, okay, what do you think? That's how you get to know someone and see if their communication style or the way they handle things is for you, because everything is not for you. So I think it's just one of those things where you have to let the relationship just flow.
Right.
It's kind of like a relationship. Like, when you're in a relationship and, it's just flowing, and then one day one of them just be like, I just love you. And it's like, oh my God, I love you too. It's just one of those things where it just flows naturally. Like, with best friends, you just have to let it flow. Like, don't be so quick to put a label on it, like, oh, this is my best friend. Well, how do you know that's your best friend?
Right. Like, what trials, what tribulations, what you done to be considered, being called that. So I get it. I definitely get that. So I'm gonna end it off on a final happy note per se. How do you be happy for your friend? Like, when they go through something, let's say they get a new job. Like, how do you encourage them in a way, but at the same time without seeming jealous or seeming extra or that type of thing? Like, how do you effectively do that?
I think it just depends on your heart posture, and also when you go up, how you bring your best friend up. So, like, if you're moving and you're getting a promotion, okay, so let's talk about me and Josh. Like, I sing, he's into production, so we have this thing where if I go sing, he's gonna come because he does production, he does sound for us. And it's so one of those things where we're like, okay, we're going to grow this thing together. We're not leaving one behind. So when I get a big call, that's a big call for him. When he gets a big call, that's a big call for me. And we laugh and joke and we'll be like, if we go to a church, if they're not looking for a worship leader or a production manager, it's like we can't go there. But it's one of those things where that's just who we are. So I think it depends on how you bring your best friend with you. Now, if y'all have different fields, that can be a little different.
True.
But in all honesty, I feel like even if one's a teacher and then one might be a manager, you still can have that connect, because if I'm a teacher or become a principal at a school and I'm doing 6 productions in a year and he's a production manager, I'm gonna bring him over to my school for him to do all the production at my school for lights and things like that. So I think it just depends on how you bring your friend up with you. I think that's where sometimes the hurt and the jealousy comes, because it's like, wait, you about to do this big thing, but you didn't ask me, can I be a part?
Right. And I think that's a part of it too. Is just like when you're a friend, even if you had nothing to do with your success. Sometimes having that journey, I feel like sometimes helps with that, right? Because it's just like we're both you're singing, right? And let's just say thank you. But no, I'm saying you singing, and then you get on something like American Idol. Or, I use that because and that show turned off now. They still do it. They still do it. Okay. Anyway,
but now they do The Voice more.
The Voice. Okay, so The Voice. So say you get on The Voice, and it's like, oh man, and all of a sudden hey, I'm gonna be on the final episode, and then as a friend, it's like, darn, I wish you would have told me when they picked you. I wish you would have told me when they brought you out for the audition. I wish you, because then not necessarily I want to be that person too, but let me help applaud you. Let me share it on my Facebook or Instagram or whatever that my friend is. Look, she doing it, and so I feel like that's part of it. I think that goes back to what we talked about, communication, but at the same time, it's like I feel like effectively as a friend, in order for me. And this is just a personal thing for me. I feel like I want my friend to enjoy the same happiness as me. So let me show her the things that, or him, or whatever the case may be. This is what's going on in my life. This is how I'm excelling. This is what's going on. This is how I'm getting to that next level. And hopefully, I know that's the same case with you, but hopefully you out there, their best friend is not that covetous or jealous person to say, man, that was supposed to be my opportunity. Oh man, if I had did it, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I can only imagine. I think that's because we're two opposite lanes. It makes it easy to be best friends. Not saying that two singers can't be best friends, but there are, I feel like, certain situations where there's this competition factor in a sense, right? So I feel like running in the same lane, there's still like times where I don't think you'll see quite eye. But if you run in different lanes, that's what makes it like we can run neck and neck and things really be successful, and I can be happy for you, you can be happy for me, and then we can move forward. So
yeah, I guess that's true. Thanks. I agree.
Well, Sanina, this has been good. This has been good.
It's always good.
The very first one. You guys have witnessed it yourself. We are a work in progress. We're pushing it through. We are building this product and pushing it out to you guys. In lieu of all that as well, I want to say that at the end of the day, if you want to support us, if you want to help sponsor, if you want to help push the brand, all of this stuff, hit the like, hit the subscribe, share it, tell your friends about it. Even if it's just a clip, you can screen record and say, look, this is something that I think you need to hear. And so that was the purpose of this. It's not trying to get rich. It's not trying to start nothing. It's like, this is real information that I feel like I get off my chest, get off your chest, and that when we blend it together, somebody out there can really take that information and say, hey, that was something good. I needed to hear that today. So without being said,
and if you have any topics or anything that you want to hear or talk about, put in the comments, inbox one of us or something. We will definitely try and get to most of the topics that you guys want to talk about.
For sure.
Because there's a lot of topics that I'm pretty sure you want to hear, so just let us know.
Yeah. So this is Josh and
I'm Sanina.
And we appreciate you for watching Bows and Bros.
Bye, y'all. Love ya.